All right, good morning, everybody. It is 9:15 on Wednesday, August 26th. We have the markets opening up higher again, just like yesterday, so we're going to be careful not to fall into the same trap. Yesterday, we saw a higher open on the Chinese cutting rates, and we saw a lot of sideways consolidation without a lot of volatility before the markets fell off a cliff towards the end of the day. So we're going to be bullishly cautious again. Any bullish plays that we take, we're going to set tight stop losses and make sure that we're not going to fall into the same trap we saw yesterday. We are going to be looking for lows that are higher than yesterday's lows to set, and keep your eye on any stocks that break the high of day yesterday. That's going to be a very bullish sign. I expect stocks to trade within their range yesterday, high and low, but that obviously could change, so we will keep our eye on it. Higher lows is the first sign of support being found before a bullish reversal can take place, so we might be on our way to a bullish reversal here by the end of the week. I'm watching SPY here in the pre-market. You can see we have a nice steady uptrend of higher lows and higher highs, three little peaks here. I am watching very closely the 200 period moving average support on the 5-minute. That is 191.18. And that lines up pretty closely with the 15-minute 100 period moving average support of 191.36. So those are close enough that we can call that a support band on multiple time frames, and we're going to watch how the price reacts to those on any kind of pullback. Right now we are seeing some pullback and trying to hold the 20 period moving average support. If that fails, we will come down and test the 200 period moving average support, which is trending down at the moment. So let's look at some of the tickers we normally follow here, and then I'll get into the any requests you guys have to peek at. We got 14 minutes before the market opens. Let's start here with Apple. Apple is below its 200 period moving average. So let's look on multiple time frames and see if we're getting, so yeah, you definitely want to be checking the 5 and 15-minute charts for any stocks you want to play today. As you can see, we have the 200 period moving average support at 105.94 and the 100 period resistance at 106.34. This is the 15-minute chart. And then zooming into the 5-minute chart, excuse me, that's the 1 minute. Zooming into the 5-minute chart, we have the 200 period moving average resistance at 106.32. So any chart you're looking at today, because of the time frame we're in and the bounce, the 15-minute charts support and resistance levels are going to be in play and somewhat aligned with the 5-minute. So right now we have Apple trading below these moving averages and looking a little bearish, just because we have what looks like a double top here. It did set a higher high compared to this peak, but if we see a break of this support here at 105.58, it will signal that we're going to test this 100 period moving average support. Pulling up Netflix. Netflix is above the 200 and 100 period support on the 5-minute and on the 15-minute as well. So that is a more bullish looking stock than Apple, just comparing right there. On any kind of pullback, we're going to be watching these support levels. So make a note, Netflix pre-market is looking more bullish than Apple. PCLN is the same on the 5-minute. We are above those key support levels. And on the 15-minute, we are still below the 200 period moving average support, but we still have the 15-minute 100 period moving average support of 1203. And that lines up pretty closely with the 200 period on the 5-minute of 1200. So still seeing that 1200 psychological support, and now there's some moving average resistance or support to back it up as well. Dropping down to GoPro. GoPro is in the range below 200 period resistance at 48.88 and above 100 period support at 47.80 on the 5-minute chart. On the 15-minute chart, we are below both of those resistance levels, 48.77 and 48.61. So comparatively, GoPro is the most bearish looking stock in terms of resistance that it still needs to get over of the 4 that we've looked at so far this morning. Here is Facebook. This is the 15-minute chart first, so we are above the 100 and 200 period moving average. So those are our support levels. And on the 5-minute, we are the same. So that's just another example that Facebook is a lot more bullish looking than GoPro. GoPro has all those levels as resistance, and Facebook has them all as support. So that's just what I do every morning, comparing how things look, how some stocks compare to others. Let's look at SUNY. SUNY 200 period resistance on the 5-minute is all the way up at 973. So a lot of room to go before we hit that. We have the 100 period as support at 887. We're going to watch to see the low 878. If that holds and we form a higher low today, it'll be the first signs of a bullish reversal. 15-minute chart, both resistances are way above. So nothing. It's looking like if we get a little momentum with SUNY here, we could easily run to mid to upper $9. Tesla on the 15-minute has 200 period moving average resistance of 227.56. Support of 100 at 224.84. On the 5-minute, we are above both levels, so still looking pretty good. Although one thing I'm noticing is Tesla is in a bit of a downtrend, which is not the trend we've seen with other stocks this morning. We have lower highs and a couple higher lows, so it's in a very tight range right now. And in the morning, first thing in the bell, we should see very quickly if it's going to hold this support level of the 200 period moving average. WY. WY has, there's not much pre-market action. Let me pull up the daily chart. Here is the daily chart at WY. Off a cliff just like everything else, very oversold. 26.90. We're going to be watching for that support to hold today. If we break 26.90, there is more downside to come. Gap to fill up at $30. MACD is extremely unsustainable, heading down. So another one that is very oversold, which is not uncommon these days, as you all know. Alright, so let's look now at UGAZ. I don't have my natural gas chart up right now. We have 175 has been resistance, I've noticed the past few days. So if we see a break of 175, it will be a bullish sign. Let me pull up the daily chart of UGAZ as well here. So we had a bullish reversal candlestick form yesterday. Looking for continuation today. You can see the high of the day on Monday was 175. We break that and we can start making our way back up to the 10-day moving average resistance of 189. We will see if the natural gas bulls step in here. That's what we're looking at for you guys. Let me flip on back to Fidelity here. Check back in with SPY to see how we're going to open up. So here's SPY finding support on the 20 period moving average, which is currently 191.90, and seeing a nice little bounce up. We'll see if it can set a high above 193.03. Golden Cross in BABA. Soren, I'm not sure what time frames it is talking about. If you're talking about the 5-minute, because on the daily chart, a Golden Cross is, I believe, the 50 period moving average crossing the 200 period moving average upwards, but I don't know if BABA has a 200 period moving average yet, because of how recently the IPO was. Pulling it up right now. Yeah, I don't see any Golden Cross. Not sure what time frame it might be talking about. Yeah, there's definitely not. The 50-day moving average is definitely not crossing the 200-day moving average bullish. It's actually 200-day moving average is 90 and the 50-day moving average is 79. It's significantly lower and not even close. So I don't know what that scanner is talking about. But let's look at MON. Yammon. Not really any pre-market volume with MON, so I will check out the daily chart. Daily chart is oversold, as is everything else. Closed at the low of the day, 89.42. Trade pre-market was 91.50, so looking to hold 89.42 support. And you're going to see resistance on the lower Bollinger Band right now. That is 94.05, but that's going to drop right as the bell rings, and that gets factored in to the chart. ATML. We got 5 minutes until the bell here. Another one with not much pre-market volume at all, so let's see what the daily chart says. Actually had a bullish gap up yesterday on high volume. Let me pull it up for you so you can follow along better. It hit 10-day moving average resistance and pulled back. That level is 753. You're going to watch for the low of the day 720 to hold as support, and if you see a break of 767, it's going to come up to the middle Bollinger Band of 785. Currently at 782 I see, so it might be another gap up. Going to check back in with SPY here. I want to watch SPY as it opens in the first 10 minutes because it's going to help us figure out if we're going to stay bullish today, unlike yesterday, or if we're going to consolidate for a while and then make our move. SUNY, you're going to watch 878 as the low of the day yesterday for support. Keep in mind all the low of the days and high of the days of yesterday's stocks. Any break of low day is bearish, obviously. Any break of high day is bullish. Even if you have a piece of paper and you write down all the tickers you're looking at and all the low of the days and the high of the days and have it right in front of you, I highly suggest that. I love writing things down on paper. Plug, good old plug. Can't even imagine where it's at right now. Wow, 190. Let's pull up the daily. On the daily chart, I am seeing it actually had a nice bounce from gapping way down. Hit a low 2 days ago of 155. Yesterday it gapped up, hit $2 resistance, which is now strong resistance, and pulled back to 185. So that would dictate to me some more downside, just because yesterday was a really ugly candlestick showing a bunch of profit taking. But again, you're going to be watching the $2 psychological resistance and the 182 low from yesterday. If we break 182, there is more downside coming. Google. We got 3 minutes until the bell rings here. Google's looking good. Nice uptrend pre-market. On the daily chart for Google, we have the 50-day moving average resistance at 621. We're trading well above that right now. The high yesterday was 647, so we're pretty close to potentially breaking that. A break of 647, we got 650 psychological, and then we got nothing until middle Bollinger Band up at 668. So Google could be a nice bullish stock here if it is able. But again, we want to watch out for a gap and trap, which is what happened yesterday. We gapped up open, and then the bears controlled the entire day. So we don't want to go bullish without, number one, tight stop losses, or without some kind of confirmation that we are going to see some strength. So I'm going to pull up SPY here on the 2-day chart just so we can see how yesterday played out and not make any mistakes based on the patterns we saw there. So we saw up pre-market yesterday, down initially to start, found support on the 100-day moving average and bounced up again, set a lower high than what was right at the open, consolidated for a while, and then fell off a cliff. So we are going to be watching for similar action, and we are going to see if we can avoid making any mistakes. So if we were to see the same thing, I would expect a pullback right in the first 20 minutes, eventually finding support on the 200 period moving average on the 5-minute chart here, making a move up, setting a lower high than this candlestick right here, which is 193.03, and then consolidating for the rest of the day. If we saw that happen, it would be the same pattern as yesterday, and we would be cautiously watching for a potential bear attack again. Facebook, I believe I already did, but I'll poke back in again. Looking good. 200 period moving is the support. The high pre-market that you want to see break early in the morning is 86.43. And there's the bell. We are off to the races. Nugget, I would need to look at the gold chart, and I can't pull that up right now as I want to stay on top of SPY here at the open. But we can check back in midday when things calm down for Nugget. So we got 20 period moving average support right now. We're watching the high pre-market of 193.03. Nice volume so far to start. Apple's up 3%, Netflix is up 5%, PCLN 3%, GoPro just under 3%, Facebook 3.5%. So all things looking good here to start, but we know how quickly that can change. And right now we are testing SPY's 20 period moving average support. That level is 191.98. Looking like we might lose it here first thing in the morning and test the 200 period moving average support of 191.15. So looking like a little bit of a pullback here to start the morning first thing. We'll see if the bulls step back in within the first 5 minutes. SUNY is at $9 psychological support. We're watching 878 for the bottom of yesterday. So a little bit of a tug of war here to start. You can see the candlestick on the 5-minute chart for SPY has a little bit of an upper wick and a little bit of a lower wick. Everybody's getting a feel for which direction we're going to head today. Right now it is looking slightly more bullish than bearish. If we see a break of 193.03, it will be a very bullish sign, as that was the high pre-market. So heading up towards the high of the day, just set a new high of day for SPY, so things are looking good right now. A break of 192.59 and we should head to 193.03. Thank you, Siku, for pointing out what gold is, and Nugget and JNUG all trade off of gold. So SUNY held $9 psychological support. That is a higher low than yesterday as of right now. We'll see if that level can hold through the morning. I really like SUNY's wild swings. Crazy volatility are perfect for trading. Lots of volume. So currently at the high of the day for SPY, looking like the bulls have a little bit of strength here. Again, watch the high of the day of all these stocks yesterday. I want to zoom out here and see what yesterday's first 5 minutes of volume looked like. $9.1 million. And right now we are at just over 4 million with 2 minutes left to go. So we're going to have less volume than yesterday. Yesterday was a dump to start the day. Today is not. So we have a higher day again. We are looking more bullish than yesterday, that's for sure. We'll see if it can hold up for the next 10 minutes or so, and that will be a great indicator on where this morning is going to head. So just as I say that, we have some more indecision. The candlestick now is looking more like a doji on the 5-minute. As the bears stepped in a bit, we got a upper wick and lower wick that are roughly the same size. So we're patiently waiting. We're leaning bullish on the day to start. So potentially looking into stocks that we want to play bullish, potentially having orders filled out for them. SUNY broke $9 support, so now we're coming down to 878. If that cannot hold, we don't know where bottom's going to be. Heading down quickly. And now we are red on the open for SPY. trying to hold that 20 period moving average support of 191.98. There's Sunni setting a new low, and we are going to sit on the sidelines here and wait for a bottom to be found because it has not happened yet. Nice 13 cents bounce in seconds. That just goes to show you the Sunni volatility I was talking about. Lots of swing opportunities to flip this one during the day. 887 from 867, that's a 20-cent move in seconds. So SPY was able to regain bullish on that 5-minute candle, and now the bears are controlling this candle. We will see we have a new low. We had a low on this candle of 191.73 and just broke that of 191.67. So that is a point for the bears. 200 period moving average support is key here at 191.14. And on the 15-minute chart for SPY, we are watching 100 period moving average support of 191.39. So we're going to hit that support before the 5-minute support. It'll be a little bit of an indication of what's to come. So a bit of a dump here, hitting new low days. Currently right now at the 15-minute support of the 100 period moving average. We will see if that can hold. Trying to get a feel of which direction the stock market's going to go this morning. And this 200 period moving average support test will be pretty telling. There's about $1.20 downside until the next support, if that is to break. A lot of support on 890 Sunni. Watch that bid there. If it gets eaten up, that's going to be a bearish sign. And it just got swallowed, it looks like. Still holding on, but not by much anymore. Well, it did hold on, so watch 890 as support. Just saw a 30 cents bounce in a minute. So we're at the 200 period moving average support right now. That level is 191.14. Currently under the 15-minute support level and the 20 period moving average support on the 15-minute chart. So definitely looking bearish now after the first candlestick looked bullish. We got 3 minutes left to go, and it's looking like we might see an increase in volume here. Watch for a close under the 200 period moving average support. Two minutes left in this candlestick. Holding the support right now. If we hold the 200 period moving average support, the next hurdle to get over is the 20 period moving average resistance, which failed to support on this candlestick. That level is 192.01. So as you can see, volume is probably going to increase here, which is a bearish sign. Still about a minute and a half left to go on this candlestick. Sunni support, we're watching $9 psychological. If that falls, we're watching $8.90. A little bit of a lower wick here off of the support, showing the bulls did show up. We'll see if they can keep it going another 5 minutes. Increase in volume. On 3 minute, could be a bull flag forming. Watching this 100 period moving average support. That's key, just like the 200 on the 5 minute and the 100 on the 15 minute. So still maintaining that support on the 15 minute. Still have 5 minutes before this candlestick closes. But I'm going to stick to the 5 minute for now, as the 5 minute has been doing very well for us the past 2 days. So SUNY 890 support just fell, heading back down to test the low of the day potentially. Coming up on another test of the 200 period moving average support, 191.13. The low of the previous candle was 191.06, and we have a new low of the day right now, so the bears are in control. Bulls could still hold this support by the end of this candlestick in 4 minutes, but these lower lows, 3 lower lows to start the day, is a bearish signal. Three lower lows and 3 lower highs. PCLN has already dropped $14. Netflix has dropped 2.5. GoPro has dropped $1. Apple is down $1.50. Four minutes left to go in this candlestick, and we already have more than half of the previous candlestick's volume. So we're going to see an increase in volume again on the bearish side. Very bearish signal here. New low of days being set for SPY. SUNY coming down to test its low. Watch this bid here. It's a big bid, but it could get swallowed up very quickly as it's getting chipped away right now. And there it goes. So we're looking at a new low of day on SUNY. Looking at 850 psychological support at the moment. Bulls just showed up on SPY. We'll see if they can maintain it for the next 3 minutes. It's going to be a nice volume increase here. We'll see which direction it favors. Currently favoring the bears. SUNY down to 855 very quickly. Let's see. As we know, when SUNY gets really oversold on the 5 minute, it's a nice flipping opportunity. RSI is still at 33, so not extremely oversold yet. Two minutes left to go in this candlestick, and we're almost surpassed last one's volume. I think SUNY is going to be a sweet swing opportunity once the market does find support. It was oversold before the market crash happened, and now it is extremely oversold. I don't know if I've ever seen a weekly chart look that torn up. We're at the point where I think there's the 850 support that's getting eaten through. Was just double the amount it is now, and it fell. So we're now getting close to oversold on SUNY 5 minute. RSI is still 32, so it could drop a significant amount more. Now we're looking at $8 flat psychological support for SUNY. It's getting to the point here where I feel like the only way that SUNY is a loser from an $8 position in a few weeks from now is if the market absolutely crashes or if SUNY is going bankrupt. Other than that, I can't imagine we don't see a nice bounce swing trade on SUNY. I'm not saying get in yet by any means because we have not found bottom. So here's SPY, definitely looking bearish. Increase in volume to the bear side, below the 200 period moving average support. Candle just got locked in. Now we are looking at 100 period moving average support of 190.04. Tesla, we'll take a peek in. Tesla is bearish as well, trading now below its 100 period moving average support and setting, it has set two higher lows here, 222.41, 222.56, and 222.56 are all the lows. So if you see a break of 222.41, it's going to signal more downside. There is decreasing volume here, so that is a point in the bull's favor. On any downtrend, decreasing volume is a good sign of consolidation. If you see a spike and change in that trend, that could signal more downside though. It's definitely a bearish looking stock, and there we go, breaking the lows. Tesla is bearish. Here is SPY trying to find some support. I expect it to test this 200 period moving average and potentially get rejected. That is 191.11, the key level to watch. You can see all these stocks just slowly giving up their gains from the morning. PCLN is now down $20 from its high. So there's SUNY again, another 20 cents bounce. About to be a 30 cents bounce. Definitely lots of trades to be made here, but a very risky one. At this point, SUNY, it might as well be a penny stock with how volatile it is. So currently over the 200 period moving average resistance for SPY on the 5 minute, but getting a little bit of rejection. We have 4 minutes left to go. Going to be watching that closely. On the 15 minute, we have same thing. We're now testing resistance of the 20 period and 100 period moving average. If we are able to start forming candlesticks above this level, it will be a bullish sign, but it's going to take a lot of bullish activity. Lots of day traders are all over SUNY. I mentioned before that I post 10 videos every night, and all the big names, Apple, Netflix, Apple, and GoPro are usually some of the higher views, and SUNY has been blowing everything out of the water with the amount of views that it gets. So that means there's a lot of eyes on SUNY, a lot of traders, a lot of people looking for long positions, and a lot of people stuck and currently bag holders. So 3 minutes left to go in this candlestick. Currently still rejected from this 200 period moving average resistance. Fighting it right now. Another 30 cents bounce for SUNY. That's two 30-cent bounce opportunities in the first 18 minutes of the day. 1,000 shares, that's $300. Obviously, you're not going to time the exact low and high, but just pointing out the volatility and opportunity. So the bulls are showing up a bit here for SPY, trying to regain this level as support. 2 minutes left to go here. After 3 candlesticks of lower lows and lower highs, we are seeing a higher low and a lower high, so just some consolidation going on. At this point, I would still suggest picking your favorite stock you want to play and eyeing a bearish position. Still would like to see a little bit more confirmation before deciding which direction the market is going to go today. A real confidence booster and the bearish position would be a break of this 100 period moving average support, because after that there is not really any support on the short-term time frame moving average. One minute left to go in this candlestick. Looking like we might close up right as I say that, so I'm going to wait and hold my tongue until this candlestick forms. SUNY set a new low at $8.37. We're watching $8 flat. So we were able to close above the 200 period moving average resistance. We will see how this candlestick reacts. That will be pretty telling. On the 15 minute, this is the 10 minute. On the 15 minute, we've got still fighting. This candlestick closes in 10 minutes. Still unable to get above the 100 period moving average resistance of 191.41. So watching 191.41 over the next 10 minutes. And we're going to come down and see if this candlestick can hold the 200 period moving average support on the 5 minute of 191.09. Currently at that level. Here's SUNY down, new low a day. Currently below the 200 period moving average support. You mean are you referring to the candlestick forming today? Because if you are, I wouldn't even look at it just because we still have many, many hours to go. Although it is looking like it's holding its stock price nicely compared to some others after a nice day yesterday and a close above $20. So we're looking now for a break of the low of the previous candlestick. That would be a bearish signal. SUNY just set a low of 8.22. We are watching for $8 even. And the way this stock has been trading, RSI is 30. I would almost set my order at $8.02 and set a stop loss at maybe $7.95 or something like that. Because if it hits $8 within the next 15 minutes, it's going to be a very oversold 5-minute chart. So we're going to see some battling here at the 200 period. It appears knocked below it, closed above it, knocked below it. You guys is currently at 175 resistance. Looking good there, if it can break it, of course. So there's a new low for SPY, definitely bearish. Watching now 190.07. After we break 190, there is not much I'm looking at in terms of support on the intraday charts, and I would fully expect a potential test of yesterday's low at 187. 2 minutes left to go in this candlestick. The bulls are going to need to show up hard to maintain this 200 period as support. Two minutes to go. We're going to see an increase in volume on the previous bullish candlestick, which on a red candlestick is a bearish sign. Unless we see a nice long lower wick like we have forming now. 1 minute left to go in this candlestick.